Got it. You record them or not necessarily?
Hello, everyone. I think we're live.
Hello, hello. Good morning. Welcome, welcome. We are live. Hello, hello.
We are
Oh,
live.
I've got to stop the sound of my phone here because otherwise
Ah.
we're gonna hear some echoey sound. Let's just hello, hello. There you go. Okay, cool.
We're live.
Good
Hello.
morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Hello, Tash. Hello, hello.
Hello.
So we are at our finale, day 3 of our activation 3 days challenge in this amazing group that that's just a little baby that's starting to walk slowly but surely, the Creatrix Vortex. So we're welcoming you today for day 3, the last day, with Tasha Ashwin and myself, Anik Patri. We are going to talk about our third pillar. So in the Creatrix Vortex energy, we have 3 pillars. Day 1 was about self-leadership. Day 2 yesterday was about tapping into your intuition, and today is about creativity and beyond. Including a bit of creation and manifestation. So making the difference with that. So we're going to play with the creative energy today. And Tash, did you want to briefly introduce yourself for the newbies or people watching on replay or people who might know me but don't know you?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, my name is Tash. Hello, everyone. I work in the space of publishing and business alchemy. I call it business alchemy. It's all about bringing together the energetics, the mindset, and the strategy to explode business. But my real passion is actually in writing and the art of curating and writing beautiful words that move, words that inspire, words that, really touch people in their heart. It's a real passion of mine. And it's when it comes to the creative arts, good morning, Erin. Lovely to see you here. When it comes to the creative arts, that's really that's my real strength. I call myself a wordsmith.
I love that. Yeah, Tash, you're a genius. That's your zone of genius, the words. She's brilliant in speaking and writing words. Brilliant at that, that's for sure.
What
And
about you,
I'm
Nick?
Annie Patry, French-Canadian, based in Australia for 22 years. And my passion is definitely metaphysics, spirituality, and intuition, working with intuition. And of course, being creative. Like, there's I guess there's these three components together. I am an intuitive mentor and a TEDx speaker, an international best-selling author, and a voice healer. And I've been in the coaching field for 15 years, and I help empath conscious leaders to harmonize their nervous system so that they can be paid and share their soul's work, they share their voice with the world. I love facilitating that transformation. And my way of working is playful, and it's not just we don't have to do transformation in heavy energy. We can do it creatively and joyfully and lightly. That's the way I work, and that's the way I like it, baby.
Yeah, I love the joy aspect of this for you, Anik, and for the energy that you bring. Like, you just need to look at Anik to see the joy beaming off her. She is a joyous being. And when it comes to creativity, I think we can both agree that it is all about tapping into passion and tapping into joy and tapping into the things that make your heart expand. Just like we spoke about yesterday with intuition. I personally believe that the intuitive channel and the creative channel are one and the same. There are obviously subtle differences, but when we are tapping into intuition, we are tapping into creative flow. When we're tapping into creativity, we're also tapping into intuitive flow. And so the energetics, for me personally, and the way that I see it and feel into it, the energetics are very, very similar. But today we're going to be talking all about how to really activate your creational powers as a human, as a woman, as like a soul in a human body. You are creating in every single moment of the day. We are always creating. And in many cases, when we talk about the your creational capacity, we can look at like the energy that you are giving off, the emotions that you are experiencing, which trigger very, powerful hormonal changes that actively emit energy to the universe. And the universe is always responding to that. So this is where the creativity weaves with manifestation. Anik, would you like to talk a bit about that?
Sure, thanks, Dash. Yeah, well, yeah, it's all coming from your joy, from your heart. Yeah, creativity is a joyful expression. It's your self-expression, and I just like to make a little distinction here about, like, if we talk about creation, like you're a creatrix, yeah, a creator. You're a creator. You create your life, you create your reality, you create everything around you. You are creating that. The house you live in, your relationships with your family, your clients, your friends, you're creating. You're constantly creating. But I'd like to, like, I would put creation at the top, if you will, and then underneath that there's creativity. Which is, we give you a white page every day. And what am I creating today? And creativity is more associated with art, like painting, photography, singing, dancing, all kind of form of performance. And, like the form of art, the self-expression, and they're creative, they're unique to you. No one can do the same drawing as you, no one can do the same song as you. We can all sing the same song, but we all have a different tone and a different emotion that comes with it, and a different way of singing it, and it's all very unique. Your creativity is your own soul signature, is very unique to you. And then you've got creation at the top, like creating a family, creating a business, a soul purpose. And then you've got creativity, which is your self-expression, your art. Like Tash has got a book publishing business, which is amazing. She invites women to, in business, to write their stories. So it's highly creative business. And it's all linked to self-expression, to the heart, to the soul. And then next to it, or, like you've got creation, you've got creativity, and next to it or underneath it, or anyway, like I'm going to draw a diagram. Yeah, I'm going to draw a diagram for you for my business. I just decided that what's coming through, I'm creating right now with you. And so then you've got manifestation. Manifestation is manifesting. So Tash and I were looking at the meaning of manifestation before we have a little catch up, behind the scene. And then mani is in French. I'm French Canadian. I speak French. Manual.
Hands.
Means hands. So it's bringing it into the tangible, making it visible. Manifesting is making it public, visible, tangible, bringing it, like really grasping the energy that's coming through from your crown chakra, coming
the creational energy.
Creational energy, opening up your heart, opening up your vessel, your body, and bringing it to the physical. And that includes everything. That includes your emotion. If you're sad, you're manifesting sad and the sad experience. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's being human, right? And manifesting new clients, new relationship, magnetizing, bringing into everything exists, but you bring it into the physical. Yeah.
Bring it into form.
Into form, exactly. So that's a little bit of a diagram, if that makes sense. Yeah, manifesting is in every breath, in every moment. You're manifesting with your thoughts.
It's like it comes in and we move it out.
With feelings in your body, that's it. And then it's a bit of a purification, because as you move along with your desires, with your heart's wanting to manifest things, your body would be the one that either welcome it or block it.
Yeah.
Whereas creativity, I mean, you can draw and draw and draw and draw. and no one will stop you. I mean, you will stop yourself, but you know, you can be creative. And yeah, that's why I don't know if it makes sense here, but you just
it lands.
the little
The
creativity and
subtleties.
subtleties. Yeah, thanks, Tash. She's so good with words. And manifestation, and then the creation is the hat, is at the top of the umbrella. Is I'm creating a family, I'm creating a business, I'm the creatrix, I'm the goddess, I'm the divine. I create, and then breaking it down with the playfulness of being creative in your business, in your leadership, in your life, and the awareness of manifesting day in, day out,
moment to moment.
is moment to moment. I hope.
I love that, Anik, and I love that visual. And I think what I'm really present to is a topic that we've spoken about in one of our public facing conversations. And that is like tapping into this awareness and this knowing that life is art, life as art. Like you are the artist and your life is the canvas. And when we were creating the concept for the Creatrix retreats and the Creatrix Vortex, this was a really big piece for us, because when we can see our life as our creational opportunity, then it becomes fun, it becomes experimental, it becomes playful. We can get serious about things when we're not in that space of being in the moment and responding to what life throws to me and being agile. And so if I receive if I receive an idea, I'll talk to you about, like, I've got 4 books that I've published. There's 2 of them. Yes, they're multi-author books. So I bring in a range of different authors to speak on a topic. But when an idea drops in to my field, it's always, I can talk about, like, how do I come up with the concepts for all of these different books? Because for me, that is one of the most creative, highly potent creative experiences, from the concept all the way through to the cover art, all the way through to writing the description, calling in the people, like inspiring them to open up their creative hearts when they're writing their story. Like the whole experience is like a creativity crucible. And so for me, this is about, like, what am I noticing in my field? As a manifesting generator, I'm constantly asking this question, like, what am I seeing? What am I noticing? And what am I responding to? Because whenever I'm responding to something, and especially when I'm putting out an idea for a multi-author book, you know, that is like a big project, it has to be something that I feel my audience will respond well to as well. So, but the same is very true when you're creating content in your business, when you're birthing new offers inside of your business, when you are, you know, like if you're pivoting in direction, it's about like noticing within yourself, what am I responding to in my field? What's exciting me right now? What's inspiring to me right now? So for the next book that I'm doing, it's actually a topic that feels very edgy. It's a topic that makes me a little bit nervous, that pushes me right up against my comfort zone, but it's my next level. And so that topic is sacred sexuality. And I'm calling in people, professionals in that space who dance in the realm of sacred sexuality, and I'm going to be creating a book on that topic. That doesn't feel like super safe to me. However, I know that it's my edge, and I'm willing. I dare to dance there. Do you know? Yeah. I dare to explore that. I don't know if that's landed the way that
yeah, beautifully. Yeah, it's really your expression through your books, and there's, I mean, basically in the creation, what it's totally landing, and sexuality is such a potent topic,
especially within creativity,
because we create from our sacral chakra, second orange chakra. So we're creating, it's our sexual energy that is creating, right? And so when you talk about sacred sexuality, healing, and it's joy, like there's nothing more joyful than making love with someone you love. It's the playground for adult. Like it's a big game that we play, and it's fun, and it's engaging. It's like little kids playing with their toys, but we're playing with our body, and it's just the most beautiful creation. And we make babies that way. I mean, I mean, it's fully aligned with creation, creativity, and manifesting. Manu, we're bringing
Yeah.
it. So, and it is an edgy topic because there's so much shame and judgment and restriction around that. We're not educated around, I mean, the whole topic in itself, but there is a link with creativity.
Absolutely.
Because it's all the second chakra, the sexual chakra. It's healing, like a creativity. Like I studied creative art therapy. I've got a graduate diploma in Melbourne. I did at MyCat years ago, but I loved it, where we actually explore creativity as a healing art, as a healing modality, and it's super healing. It's super when you tap into your subconscious and use self-expression, and it like dancing for me for years with spiral dance or with voice tapping, voice and singing and expressing the voice. It's healing, it's passionate, it's joyful and passionate, and it's creative. It's kind of a link, you feel yourself through creating. To me, the most potent and powerful medicine is creating. Really. Yeah,
absolutely. And 100%. And what I'm hearing when you say that is it's actually about getting the conscious mind out of the way. And we tapped into this yesterday, but like when you're in full creative flow, whether that's in dance, when you're channeling writing, when you are in that zone of creativity, it's like there's often no conscious, like the conscious mind is lulled to sleep. And in many cases, like that is like when we're in too much in our head, that will be the thing that will block creative flow. I talk about this a lot with my authors when it comes to writing and how to move through writer's block, how to move through like creative constipation is the phrase that I'll often use, because we're so in our mind, we're too much in our head thinking about how it should be. And I remember I did I co-authored a multi-author book last year. It was called The Younger Self Letters. And the concept was that we had to write a letter to our younger self, talking about like a particular challenge and how we moved through that challenge. And I tell you, we had about 6 to 8 weeks to write the chapter. I deliberated on that chapter for so long, thinking it was pitched that it was going to be a USA Today bestseller. It was going to have huge momentum, huge visibility. And I was like, okay, I want to strategically write this chapter really, really well. I want to write it in a way that's going to bring me amazing clients and that's going to increase my visibility. And every time I sat down to strategically write it, I couldn't. It was like I literally couldn't write much more than a couple of paragraphs. And that was because I realized that the story I was being dared to tell by my higher self, by my soul, by my subconscious, was the story that was the most terrifying story for me to share. It was a story that was like, my bathroom floor moment, the moment when, I nearly made a decision to end my life. And at that moment in time, like the thought of sharing that story in a book that later became a USA Today bestseller, potentially like the fear was that it would discredit me, that it would, that it would shame me. But I knew after weeks and weeks and weeks of sitting on it, I knew it was the story I had to write. I literally couldn't write any other thing. I couldn't write anything else. And so the catharsis and the healing and the experience of writing it was huge. And then to share that with the world, and then to have this influx of women who contacted me and said, I had postnatal depression too. I really resonated with your story. I experienced that. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for speaking about that so publicly. I could never have had that experience if I had have strategically written that chapter the way I wanted to. I literally couldn't have done it any other way. And so often the story that you're most terrified to share, the piece that you're most terrified to share is the thing that you must share. And we touched on this a bit in our first day when we spoke about self-leadership and being vulnerable and, you know, like sharing of yourself with your community. And in your creation, in your creative capacity, in your capacity to be a creational being, you're being dared to do that in just the same way.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, I mean, that's beautiful. Thanks for sharing that, Tasha. It's really, yeah, it's really sensitive. I mean, again, it brings it to vulnerability and to me, what is echoing within me, what's resonating is the piece that is, there's nothing like, you know, it has to come from your heart. It's like creativity, self-expression comes from the heart. It comes from your uniqueness, from your own lived embodied experiences. You know, no one can do it the way you do it. No one can express your own stories, your own movements. You know, you look at people dancing in a you know, because I go to these dance parties, everyone's dressed up. I mean, I'm a bit of a wildcat. I mean, Tasha and I are a bit of wildcats. I mean, and our Creatrix is you're a wildcat.
The Creatrix is a wild.
Yeah, because we've got this retreat coming up for you, ladies. We've got an amazing retreat.
It's going to be amazing.
We're going to go and we're going to dance, shake our boogie and dance our ass off, I tell you, and sing and hug and connect in a way that powerful connection amongst us. I mean, that's how we you know, that's how we grow, we heal. It's in the flesh, being together in nature, nurturing, expressing, sharing, being seen for who you truly are in your own expression. So we're
I love it.
What I wanted to share, the story that I'd like to share with you is about creativity. Is like, okay, you've got the white canvas. Tash mentioned about, you know, you the artist, the white canvas, like, so, you know, you've got nothing exist. We go in the void. I like to say the void, there's nothing there. Like creation comes where, you know, if you're going to create a baby, you just don't know what the baby is going to look like, how you know, where pregnancy is going to, you know, develop and all that kind of stuff. For me, I have a little story, a bit vulnerable, I've been going through a divorce with a soulmate. I was married to a soulmate. I manifested him. I brought him in, a beautiful man. I met him naked in a hippie festival in the mud anyways. And that was love at first sight. You know, one of those, like I called him in and I wrote 11 pages in my diary, and I called my angels and said, I want to get married. Guess what? I did. And then I created the divorce as well, as we do, a bit of sabotage stuff there. So anyway, to heal my heart, I was doing a lot of ecstatic dance. You know, ecstatic dance is like free form kind of movement on a wave of energy of music, and you just let yourself go. So there's no step per se. And I was really passionate about dancing. Was my medicine for years and years before I found my voice. It was just through my body that I healed a lot of traumas, a lot of emotions, and self-expression through dancing. And so when my ex-husband and I split up, I took my 2 suitcases and I went back to Montreal, where I'm from Australia. And I actually launched a business with zero business skills or knowledge, no coaches, no mentors. At the time, I was not aware of that. I mean, I was aware of it, but I was like, I just did that from pure passion, from pure heart, from pure joy of it. And from, you know, you said, Tash, with your book, it's your next edge, sacred sexuality. Well, it was my own healing. And I launched a business 2 years in Montreal. The ecstatic dance was not existing. No one was doing it there. And I launched Spiral Dance, 7-step to expand your consciousness. From nothing, I grew a community. From nothing, I manifested in every moment. I've learned, I've used my intuition. I've used the 3 pillars that we're using in the Creatrix. I've been a Creatrix there. My own leadership, leading my life. Now that my husband is not there anymore, it's me. What do I want to do with my life? I want to heal my heart. I want to share myself. I want to, I want to express myself. And I went all the way creating spiral dance, making people happy, healing, like helping others, running epic retreats in Canada, 15 women naked in the lake, dancing like crazy, sauna, like amazing, transformative work, really powerful, really, really fun. And from the void, from nothing, from pure trusting my own sacred heart, my own soul. So, being creative and using the energy. We forget that. We go in our brain, we forget how powerful, how creative we are. But that's been the most healing, and I'm really proud of that piece of my life, that I trained 3 women around the world, one in Paris. Her name is Annick. She's still doing it. She loves it. She healed her breast cancer through that.
Wow.
Running, she discovered spiral dance in Montreal. She came for an LP training, and she came to my dance. She said, "This is what I want to do." And I said, "Okay." She said, "Next time if you do a training, Annick, I'll fly from Paris to Montreal to do your training." And she did. And she does initiatic dance now. She created a whole movement in Europe, and she's amazing. She loves it. And so I've been able to share that, I've been able to heal my own heart, to be creative. I mean, to really use the pillars and the diagram I just talked earlier on about creation, creativity, manifestation from the heart, and liberate myself and help liberate a lot of other beautiful humans, through dancing.
It takes great courage, yeah, and great trust and faith.
Sure.
Yeah. I think that's the key, between like someone who might not necessarily tap into the power of their soul's work, and maybe, and not saying there's anything wrong with this at all, but find a job and exist in a job or a career that doesn't satisfy them, versus someone who maybe has experienced that and knows that that's not for them. They want to create a life that deeply serves and nourishes, a life that's in alignment with their soul's work. And the distinction is courage and trust. It takes great courage to step out on your own, to lead yourself first.
It does. No, you're right. At the same time, with compassion, because there's a whole piece. You got to learn, heal your money blocks and all that. It's not just like you can't, you know what I mean? We have to learn the compassion piece. But what I wanted to say is, from what you're saying, oh gosh, I think the idea is just going. Sometimes, sadly enough, like Tash, you went through when you wrote your story, the young letter, and you wanted to leave this planet, and you were like, it was very vulnerable. But sometimes we need to be in a very kind of a dramatic situation to want to.
Yeah.
We don't have to, but often it's kind of, we push to the nose in the wall, and it's like, oh well, your soul is like, hey, this, I want to be seen, heard, felt, received, expressed. Your soul's like, hey, I exist
now or never.
At least kind of triggering moments sometimes.
I look back on that moment, it was actually the most pivotal, powerful turning point of my life. I see it as like I had to hit rock bottom to know where rock bottom was.
What word I was looking for.
Yeah. It's like I took myself there. I descended into, like the hero's journey, you descend into the underworld of your own psyche, of your own shadow, of your own subconscious, to battle your inner demons and to come face to face with your darkness. I found, and the interesting thing was, during that period of my life, I wrote some of the most beautiful and powerful pieces. It's like there's something about being in such an intense place an intense time in your life. If you're a creative person, that will often spark great creativity. It's why for a lot of like highly creative people, they go on this major roller coaster. Their life is a roller coaster ride. Do you know? Because it's like pushing ourselves to our edges to see what lies there. It's like going into the woods, into the deep, dark forest to see what lies there. Like, here be dragons. Do you know? One of my mentors was relaying this the other day. Apparently, the old explorers, when they went out creating maps, they would, here's the coastline, and here's the ocean, and here's the land. But there would be places and parts of the country the topography that they were mapping, that they didn't know what was there. And often they would write on that map, here be dragons. It's like, we don't know what is here. It could be anything. And I see that realm in many cases is like the far reaches of the psyche, the far reaches of creative expression. Not saying we have to push ourselves to our edges to be creative. It's kind of an old paradigm. However, it's like the power of our experience really can't be underestimated, you know?
No, yeah, I hear you. Beautiful. Yeah, very true. Profound. I mean, yeah, we don't want to convey the message that you have
No.
drama, but to be
No, we don't. Yeah.
You don't actually. We actually teaching Tasha and I the opposite. It's to really step into
joy.
In your joy and your
follow your bliss.
heart, following your bliss, your juju, your passion, your heart, following your inner joy, really following your inner joy. That's the most healing, transformative, and joyful that you can ever. You're on path. And on that note, we it's already got 3 days. Goes quick, doesn't it?
We hope you've enjoyed our little activation here.
For sure.
There'll be a lot more happening in this space.
There will be indeed. It's just a beautiful opening, and welcome you warmly and lovingly. And a place for you to feel safe, to be seen and received and heard, and be yourself.
And play and experiment and call in magic, you know? Yeah.
Beautiful. And we have beautiful prices. Do you want to talk about the prices, Tash?
Yes, of course. Yes. So those of you,
you've got to engage, though.
Yeah, you have to. Like, no, there's no wallflowers here. We want to see you. We want to know you. We want to feel you. So please engage with our videos. You have until Sunday evening to watch all of the trainings, to comment with your ahas, to share your personal insights and your stories and what really spoke to you. And for those of you who share this group with your friends, tag your people and comment on the videos, you'll go into the running to win 2 amazing prizes. Well, 2 people will go into the running to win an amazing prize, either a powerful voice tapping session with Anik. And let me tell you, I know Anik because 7 years ago, she was my very first mentor when I was in Sydney. Oh my God, can you hear my boys out there? They're so loud.
That's all right. They're beautiful. We love them.
Anyway, they're playing. But I sat next to Anik at a women's circle and I was like, I need you in my life. You're amazing. I need you in my life. And so I've worked with her. I've experienced her transformational power, her creational potency, and her sessions are fucking amazing. So you can go into the running to win an amazing voice tapping session with Anik. Or you can go in the running to win a business alchemy strategy session with me, which is where we'll tap into your soul story, the core of your message that will help you to grow your business in a way that magnetizes the right kind of people, soulmate clients, so that you can create a business that deeply serves you and nourishes you on all levels.
Amazing.
So,
Amazing. And we're gonna come and thanks Tash for sharing that. Very beautiful. And Monday we're gonna come Monday the 25th of July and announce the two winners of these powerful, phenomenal prizes valued at 497 Australian dollars and 300 Australian dollars. I mean, it's high value. So engage, tag your soul sisters, invite them into Creating Vortex. We do that together as a community, as a family, as a tribe, as a soul sisterhood. And comment, share your voice under the videos, hashtag replay on the activations, and tell us what really vibes with you and the golden nuggets you got, and contribute, dare to share. We love that.
And the really important thing that I think we want to finish off with is we're going to be announcing our retreat that's happening in the second part of this year. It'll be happening somewhere in country New South Wales, Australia. We're still finalizing the details. We have our eyes set on Bellingen. It potentially could be happening there in this amazing space. However, the dates and the location are not yet finalized. They will be finalized soon. So what we're going to be doing is putting out an expressions of interest. If you would like to put your name on the list to know more about our retreats, to come and meet us in person, and to gather soul sisters to unleash your sacred creatrix, which is the core of this work that we are birthing into the world, so that you can really tap into your highest level creational potency by working on self-leadership, intuition, and creativity. Please let us know. We'll be popping the link to express your interest through a form into this Facebook group. And we're really, really excited to see this amazing creation come into form. I can't wait. It's going to be amazing.
It will be for sure. We're guided. We're totally divinely guided to come together to share that space with you in a retreat space, time for you to nourish, to reconnect with the truth of who you really are, and be seen in that by, people who really value, see you, and understand you, where you're coming from, as a creatrix, because we're a special species on the planet, and we're very needed more than ever at the moment.
If you run a soulful business and you're alive at this point in time, you've got powerful medicine that the world needs. I wholeheartedly believe that. You've been training your whole life for this particular point in history, and now is the time to share your work. Now is the time to step into your creation. Now is the time to speak your truth. There's no more time. Now is it. It is time. It is time.
100%. So we thank you so much for being part of this 3 days activation journey together. We're trusting that is serving you, that is activating something within you, that is inspiring you. And we are committed to this journey with you in the Creatrix Vortex. Share the group link, and we'll see you on Monday to announce 2 winners. And we thank you so much for journeying with us. All my love.
Ciao.
Bye. Thanks, Tash.